The what, huh, and the who now? The what, huh, and the who now? Brown? Last name Brown? Yeah, I know them. They live right across the street. They live right across the street. Quarter century, as far as I know, they've lived right across the street. As far as I've known, they've lived right across the street. They still live right across the street. So, so that's the Brown in America. Sell it. So, yeah, the USA Browns. You never seen that featherhead on stamps? Okay, so there's this Native American Army general, and he's been on stamps all across coast of California, all the way to coast of Connecticut, every which way, Canada to Mexico, California to Connecticut, back and forth, up and down, the entire country, Hawaii, Alaska, everything. When Puerto Rico was considering being a state, he was on stamps down there too. He's world renowned. He is the USA Native American Army general, world renowned, last name Brown. Yeah, they live right over there. They lived there 25 years. So, does that have anything to do with this 15-year-old Asian kid that's been hitting on you? So, I'm getting to that. So, what was this last advertisement? Well, I really try not to put that on show 1 through 100 because Slim Shady makes a big deal out of it in one of his rap albums. It's supposed to be an opera that's only like 6 minutes long. Yeah, but before you heard that, and while you were growing up, ages like what, 0 through whatever, and you're in car rides and stuff, you weren't settled down in the house yet. It wasn't '96. You're bouncing around dead shows. You're bouncing around private VIP shows. You were this world-renowned, world-famous public figure that birth was announced in front of 600,000 people in the Vatican Church with all of the religions and all the denominations and all the land that was somewhat civilized and not at war wanted to place something on your name, as in like a position or a title, or what in the heck should we call this? So you're something like an archangel or a king angel or something like that, born from heaven. Yeah, well, this little 15-year-old, and she's not really that little. She's kind of like the most badass, hardcore, extreme 15-year-old you never seen. She's been like that since you noticed her when she was 9 or 8, and anything before that turns into your home movies. Is that what? Yeah, don't talk about that. On your passport. Does anyone have his passport? Has he ever been to Japan or China or anything like that? Says or Hawaii or anything? Says something similar to over there, California. Nothing. Nothing. Good. They come over here. You don't want to know. You don't want to know. You don't want to know. So like Brown, yeah, okay. So how many of them? Well, there's one family there. There's one family down south in Mason-Dixon. There's a family somewhere near the Mall of America. There's one in Washington. There's one in California. And then there's a couple in China. And there's probably one in Japan, too. Yeah, the one in Japan. That's the one we were just talking about. She's like 15 now. So you guys been married since you were 8 as far as Hong Kong rules? So yeah, maybe. I don't know. Can we get away from that? I was just hoping to listen to my advertisements and fall asleep. Well, the whole phone turned upside down and says that it's Ben. He says, it's Ben. What do you mean it's Ben? Someone handed this phone before me. I thought it was a factory store press. So I could enjoy my grant and get the heck away from these ICBMs that Groton, New London, and Waterford nonsense on. Go retire with $1 billion off in the center of the country and then do a Green Party tour with the Grateful Dead. That's not what happened. And no. You got $1 billion now. Can I have some if you do? No, I'm still poor still. So as far as my pockets and all that I could find in my tiny apartment here is just still poor. So that 15-year-old Asian chick really been hitting on you. Then I say no the first time, and then I kind of was like, well, maybe. you know, what, But what does it say? What does this mean? I don't. Well, she's not 16 yet, and I'm in Connecticut, and I'm planning on leaving soon. Should we go to Alabama? Because she's slightly related to me, like 3 generations back. So, probably not. No, no, she's not your sister. No, that's the one where you get to marry your sister or your daughter over there. Back in the 90s, it was kind of like that. You go to Alabama getaway. That's it. These 14-year-old brother and sister won't stop stooping each other left and right behind everyone's back. We're going to Alabama. They're getting married, gosh darn it. And then we'll come back to the States and see if we can get some kind of interstate something sanctioned so they don't get martyred to death or bullied into suicide or something. Alabama was a good thing for that. And there was another one for bestiality. I think it may have been Kentucky. So I don't really remember. as far as you were talking about at the age of 8. Well, Hong Kong and China was kind of like that, and Japan's always been a touchy subject for me because of Gramps' whole USS Seacat adventure during World War II when he was like 20 or 18 or something. He lived a long life. I lived with him ages 0 to 13. Where the heck's your Asian wife? Why doesn't he have any? Can we give some to your dad? You know? Because that entire area over there really feels pretty indebted to you, and you keep saying I'm sorry, and they keep saying, well, let us give you something, and it's awkward, kind of awkward for the whole everything between Connecticut and Japan. Um, but then there was like the Scandinavia, and they have similar marriage laws. And have I ever been? Have I ever been? Have I ever? Well, I am planning on going to Sweden. I wasn't planning on going to Japan for the longest while. For the longest while, it really wasn't. I was thinking one thing at a time. First, I go to Scandinavia because that's where great grandma wanted to go. That's where she was from. She was born in 1890, and she showed up in the USA about 1920, and they built her a house. And then finally, she had a great grandkid, and she was on her way to Sweden. And we could have sworn she got there, and then we heard she died. And she never even got on the plane. And I said, that's it, I'm packing my bags and moving out. I don't want to live in her house. And guess what? I lived in her house about 25 years, almost a quarter century. And now where am I? I'm about 15 minutes away, and I still haven't been to Scandinavia. But I mean, come on, does that really make sense? It was a decent, kind of clinch earlier. Is she coming on to you? Her last name Brown? Say, well, I don't know. I think her last name really might be Brown. She really might be related to some of my neighbors around here. Yeah, there was what I called it Lucky Frocky, Lucky Inn. Yeah, they were. How long ago did they come from Japan? Not that long ago, bud. Didn't you just live 0 to 13 with your grandpa and them? They were like together as. It's like, well, she was born in 1950 and she looks like she's 20 still. That's just how they go. Yeah. And she's still fine. Didn't you just buy a temporary tattoo? And what about that massage parlor up there? When are you gonna spend the $90 for the full hour, full body? Or at least the $40 for the half hour, somebody. It doesn't matter if you want to skip the foot massage or not. I'd skip the foot massage if I were me, and I suggest I do. Just show up with $10 for the tip, and the full body 1 hour. It sounds just all right. It's celibate for 5 years on top of it. No 3 strikes yet. I've been tricked into charity case, and then forced to at gunpoint. Those aren't strikes, man. Those aren't strikes. You're still waiting to get a family together, or whatever kind of family was arranged for you. And they probably had something slim, young Asian for you lined up too, way back when you were famous because of your grandpa's dirty deeds with Hiroshima. I'm sure they did. Here, you keep your chin up, and I'm not gonna pat your butt. I'm gonna boot up your ass unless you truck along. That's what they do. You remember Manhattan, Sanji. You better. Okay. I'm gonna chin up, and we'll truck along then, says. Okay. We'll call it about 8:40. So, 2, 1.